Hey guys, Armedfro here. I got a roulette match today versus Mully692. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. And going up to New Year's, it's going to be fun. So right here, I have a roulette match. Our leads have to be the first guy that the opponent picked. Mine is Arcanine, his is a Rotom Wash. I really cannot stay in here. So I'm actually going to be forced to switch. And I decided to switch in my Latios just to take any electric or water attack. He actually predicts that very nicely and goes for the Shadow Ball. I have not seen a Rotom Wash with Shadow Ball since 4th gen. But it's going to do a lot of damage considering this is probably a mostly offensive Rotom. So what I'm going to do, I really cannot stay in here at this point. So what I'm going to do is bring out something that actually resists the Shadow Ball because he seems to be Scarfed. I can actually see him beat Spect as well. But I bring in my Togekiss. I really wish this was my Hustle Kiss, but sadly it's not. It is my Nasty Plot special defensive one. And on the switch, I'm going to do a Nasty Plot just because I know he is Scarfed. I know he's going to be forced to switch. And he actually brings out his Skarmory. I'm thinking here, Skarmory, I hate you because you have Sturdy, but then I see the Drill Peck on this guy. I'm confused at this point. I'm like, okay, maybe it's offensive Skarmory? Then I see the Life Orb. I'm like, oh, geez, this is the breakable armor guy that actually boosts his speed whenever he gets attacked. But he's going to get rocked by a flamethrower, so that's going to be a one-hit KO. That is a huge threat out of my way, which is really good. And I'm also very special defensive, very bulky, so I know I can take any hit that he could dish out. He's actually going to be forced to switch into his Rotom Wash, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to Volt Switch, he's Scarfed, he's going to outspeed me, go for the Volt Switch. And that's exactly what he does, and so I decided to roost up just to see what he forces him, what he's going to be forced to switch into, because he can't exactly go for Thunder. He might not even have Thunderbolt on this guy, but he actually switches into his Articuno, and I'm thinking, oh god, I got him on Articuno. That's really bad, because I have no one on my team that can set up Stealth Rocks, and the only thing that really rocks Articuno is his typing and Stealth Rocks. Actually, Stealth Rocks because of his typing. Ice and Flying is probably the worst typing known to man. It resists maybe 2 things, Bug and Grass. That's the only I could think of right now. But he's going to go for the Toxic, and that is not very good on my part. I honestly predicted a switch, and I went for the Air Slash, and I kind of wanted to see if I was faster, because if I was faster, I could do 60% chance of flinch, and I have a +2 special attack, so I thought I would do a lot more damage, and I thought I'd be faster. But I'm a special defensive Togekiss, so that's not going to do that much damage to me. So right here, I'm going to go for the Flamethrower, just because I know Articuno cannot take a +2 Flamethrower. But he does a really good move and switches back into his Rotom Wash just to take the Flamethrower. And I'm thinking here, god dang it. He's going to Volt Switch again. I know he's going to actually Volt Switch back into his Articuno, but he could Volt Switch. He could predict that and switch into something that resists fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for the stab move. I'm going to go for the Air Slash. I could roost up, but it's kind of, at this point, because he's toxic, it's kind of a lost cause at this point. So, and my Togekiss isn't really doing that much damage to anyone at all. So what I'm going to do is actually go for the Air Slash and just do as much damage to whoever that comes in. It happens to be this Articuno, which is really interesting thing to switch out to. But you know what? I really cannot stay in here. I want to save my Togekiss as either as one as Death Fodder or come in on a wall and roost up and switch back out just to save myself a little health. So what I'm going to do is bring something in that resists ice. So what I'm going to bring in is my Come At Me Bro, which is my Krabby, my Evil-like Krabby, which he chose. He actually goes for the Roost, which, you know what, I'm fine with because Krabby can take all of you guys. So what I'm going to do is going to go for that Rock Slide. That Rock Slide is 4 times effective with Krabby's max attack Adamant, and hopefully he's going to do a lot of damage. Articuno is bulky, but I really don't think he could take times 4 its effective hit. He goes for the Toxic, which is really interesting. I honestly thought he would predict and go for the switch, but you know what? Rock Slide's coming at you. Articuno, get the hell out of here. Krabby is gonna 4 times effective, and it's gonna crush the Articuno. I do get the crit. I'm not sure how much that mattered because Krabby is very powerful, and honestly, is 4 times effective hit. I really don't think that crit mattered, but you know what? Whatever. So he's actually gonna switch into his Rotom Wash. I know I cannot stay in here. He's gonna go for the Volt Switch. So what I'm gonna do is switch into my Togekiss, and as Death Fodder, I knew I kept my Togekiss for a reason. Because what I'm going to do is see what he switches into. I'm going to get the switch advantage here. So I know he's going to go to Volt Switch, so I decided to switch out, go into my, see what he switches into, and so I could act accordingly. So what he's going to do is switch out his Rotom Wash and go into his Floatzel, which is bulky. And I'm thinking here, I might as well just send in Shenron just for the Intimidate. But I don't know why, for a split second here, I thought Floatzel could learn Thunder Punch. And so I'm like, oh god, crap, I need to get out of here. And so what I'm going to do is switch into my Onyxia, which is a Scarfed Haxorus, which is really powerful. He goes for the return. I'm thinking here, oh god, Floatzel doesn't learn Thunder Punch, does he? No, he doesn't. But with Intimidate, I could take that very nicely, and I'm going to go for that Dragon Claw as he actually switches into a Swellow. And this Swellow is going to get rocked by a Dragon Claw, because Haxorus is powerful as hell, and I'm Scarfed, so I'm going to outspeed this Swellow if he has the Burn Orb, which he does. So I'm going to easily outspeed. I honestly thought he was going to Quick Attack. I'm not even sure if the Swellow learns Quick Attack. I'm pretty sure he does, but the Swellow's going to get rocked and is going to die. So what he's going to do is switch back into his Rotom Wash. I really don't want to stay in here. So what I'm going to do is switch into my Latios, half as Death Fodder, half as if he uses a Water Attack or an Electric Attack. I could stay in, probably take another one, and kill this Rotom Wash. But he's going to go for the Hidden Power Ice. So that pretty much clinches that he does not have any electric attack other than Volt Switch. He has the Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Ice, unless his Rotom doesn't carry the Hydro Pump, which would be really weird. So I switch back into my Onyxia, just because I do have the Mold Breaker. The Earthquake will reach him, and that's going to be a dead Rotom Wash. Oh, goodbye. Mold Breaker, Haxorus, you're freaking amazing. So he's going to die. I don't know why, but he doesn't realize that I'm Scarfed at this point. He switches into his Chandelure, thinking that he is faster. He's probably Scarfed, but I'm going to outspeed him, go for the Earthquake, and that's going to be a dead Chandelure. I don't know if I could have taken a Shadow Ball if he was faster, but it doesn't really matter because I outspeed him and take him out with the Earthquake. So all he has left is his Floatzel, and this Floatzel is actually extremely bulky. I decided to stay in, go for the Earthquake just to let my Onyxia die, and so I could finish him off with either Gyarados or another Pokemon. He actually goes for the Waterfall, which is really interesting. A Banded Waterfall coming from the Floatzel is going to do a lot of damage, but will not be able to take me out. And I'm just going to finish him off with the Earthquake, so that's going to be a very good game. Mully692. Check out his channel. He's a very cool guy. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like my battle. Rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, stay classy.